how many times it depends on the product and the kind of plastic, I would suppose, but like how often can something be recycled? Is there any evidence, any data on that?
Yeah, there is, but that's a very complicated question because again, it depends on the type of plastic and it depends on the type of process. So theoretically, you should be able to recycle plastic if you treat it properly and it does not get degraded through the process and is not too contaminated. You could theoretically recycle it many, many, many times. But if it's contaminated or mixed or in some other way compromised, you're obviously going to be able to recycle it less times. So there is no magic number other than just recognizing that the cleaner, the better.
Okay. And then would it just become waste or did it actually degrade? Like, the more times you put it through the cycle?
Yeah, if it becomes too compromised, then it honestly becomes waste. And that is why it's so important when we're actually monitoring to see how the material is recycled. We have to make sure that that material that has been removed, even if it went to a recycling plant, the material that gets pulled off the line because it's not high enough quality to recycle, we need to make sure that we subtract that from the denominator and the numerator so that we're getting the right number. And this is what we don't always do so well. So we call that residual. If it gets pulled off as a residual and ends up being disposed, it cannot be counted in the recycling number.
Well, could that be used as a lower grade product?
Yeah, sometimes it can be. And a good example of that is there are some plastics that are more recyclable than others. And some of the ones that are less recyclable can be made into things like, maybe they can't be made back into another container, but they can be made into things like, for example, plastic lumber. See, these are the things that we need to consider when we're designing everything, is we need to design them from a full life cycle perspective, where we don't just look at the immediate application. We look at how the material is made, how long its life is, and how it can be managed at the end of its life. Like, we need to look at it from that perspective rather than just looking at the immediate 5 years of its life. That is all we really seem to pay attention to.